Colleen and I got married 1989.
And about 5 years later, we had Stephen.
And about 4 years after that, we had our daughter, Rachel.
Stephen couldn't wait for his sister to be born.
While he was in second grade,
One of the older kids in the school tripped him.
hit his head.
He told his teacher that he didn't feel good and he needed to go to the bathroom, and they found him unconscious outside of the bathroom.
Spent the night in the hospital, was diagnosed with a concussion, nothing serious that we were aware of at the time.
And about 6 months later, we started to notice a change in him.
Kevin started to have seizures. I got the call from the neurologist. I had the phone in my hand and I almost fell on the ground. The tumor was very large. They had to take a big chunk of his brain out, and when he came out of surgery, basically his left side was completely paralyzed. We had to wheel him around in a wheelchair.
So he went to fourth grade, and within the first 2 weeks, the fourth grade teacher called us up and said, we need to talk. And we started into the process of having Stephen looked at.
We were going to physical therapy appointments, seeing different practitioners.
We had a personal psychiatrist also evaluate him.
And after about 3 months of going there every week, she came back and announced that he had ADHD. We asked her, how do we treat him? And her response was, well, generally we give him medication. The side effects were pretty significant.
Not only did he stop eating, and he stopped, growing.
He walked around the house like he was basically asleep standing up. I mean, literally, it looked like somebody had sucked the energy out of Stephen.
But he also became really angry, more so than he was when he was off the medication.
I mean, it was horrible.
Other medical professionals proposed strengthening his left side. Strengthening Kevin's leg with physical therapy wasn't going to work, would never work. The core problem was in his brain, not in his leg.
So as a dad, it was killing me. And even putting him on the drugs was killing me. But I felt at the time it was the only choice we had.
I felt like I lost my son. Stephen, when he was little, he used to be one of the most loving kids. And then this happened, and he would hit me, or he would fight with me, or he would argue with me. But he never wanted to talk to me anymore.
We almost gave up, and thank God we didn't.
Jim actually went over to the DeMoss's house. He went to an actual open house, and Matt gave an overview of the program and what they do at Family Hope Center.
Because maybe there really is a chance that Stephen could actually be fixed instead of being treated.
I talked to a lady at the Family Hope Center. 5 minutes into the conversation, I knew that they were focused on fixing the core problem.
So going to the Family Hope Center, to just hear that maybe, and Matt and Carol were really upfront about everything. They're like, this does not work for everybody. We do have documented test results that it works better for most kids, but what I clung to was, there's a chance.
And on Monday morning, I called Family Hope Center and made arrangements for us both to go to the seminar and for Stephen to be evaluated. Immediately,
I signed up for both the seminar, and immediately I signed up for the evaluation.
We went to the seminar. It was 3 days. We were blown away.
I'll tell you, I've never learned so much in such a short a time.
And I learned more in that seminar about kids and brain functions and the fact that the brain can actually fix itself.
My specialty is neurosurgery and neurology. And as a nurse, I was taught by neurologists and neurosurgeons how to treat stroke patients, brain tumor patients, spinal surgery patients. Nobody ever taught us the things that Matt and Carol mentioned.
It was the best 3-day investment I could have made for not only Kevin, but for my entire family.
And then Stephen was evaluated.
They did a functional assessment.
When we first started, and Matt had Stephen run down the hallway, it was just kind of funny because he was completely uncoordinated.
And they found that even though he was 12, he was at a 9-year-old level as far as his neurological state.
He didn't have that organization in his midbrain that he needed.
And in some cases, I think his social skills were at like an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old.
So they focused on function, and from that functional analysis, they determined where the problem was. And they came up with a program to stimulate those parts of the brain. And the body's an amazing thing. Given the right stimulus, can heal itself. One of the things we learned about was diet.
The diet here at home changed. We stopped eating bread. I mean, that was the first thing that went. Anything with gluten in it.
Cut out dairy, cut out a lot of the refined, processed foods.
Macaroni and cheese from a box.
Candy.
No artificial sweeteners.
Don't do it.
And now they're eating things like, steak and meatloaf, chicken and fish. We're all organic now. Organic vegetables, organic fruit, potatoes and rice.
I changed Kevin's diet. I changed my own diet.
It's healthy food. It's not brownies and cookies and, bagels.
I've lost about 40 pounds.
We started with the diet. Within 2.5 weeks, I said to Jim, is it me or is Stephen behaving better? Because all of a sudden, he was calmer. He was easier to get along with. He was easier to talk to. He was hugging me again. And that was the best thing.
Obviously, there are lots of aspects to the program.
Stephen does a program on the computer, an auditory program called EASE, which is mainly targeted at helping him organize his midbrain. He has a sensory program. Basically, he needs to smell stuff.
Close your eyes, please.
First off, figure out if he can identify it, and then he smells it the following day, because that's one of Stephen's big issues right now is memory recall, short-term memory recall. When you say, go upstairs, brush your teeth, put your pajamas on and do this, he'll go upstairs and brush his teeth and come back down and say, what was the other things I was supposed to do? So the olfactory program is really geared at helping him remember.
This program works. We've seen major improvement.
And we've actually seen some pretty dramatic improvements in his ability to focus, in his ability to control himself.
Carol and Matt had us take him off his medication for the evaluation, and we did. He hasn't been back on them since then.
Before the program, Kevin was having some challenges at school. Now he is doing very well. His grades have improved dramatically.
We've been at it for almost a year now. He's still not perfect, but at least he's liked by the kids. The kids, when they go out to play baseball, they'll come in here and can you come over and play?
When he plays baseball now, he's a great hitter.
Go Kevin!
He's a good first baseman. He's a good catcher. He's a good pitcher.
And now I can't tell you the number of times that we have kids knocking on our door. Can Stephen come out and play?
So he no longer is ostracized by the kids in the neighborhood.
When I grow up, I want to be a professional baseball player.
It's an amazing story to think about this kid who, not that long ago, was in a wheelchair.
Family Hope Center helped my memory, it's helped my leg, it's helped me run.
I know someday that he's going to be up on that mound and it'll be a story to tell.
Come on, Kev. There it is. Good job, Kev.
It's hard to put in the words how thankful I am.
And I know that if we hadn't have found the Family Hope Center, that's where Stephen would still be. He'd still be the little kid that was on medication that none of the kids wanted to play with, that wouldn't give his mom a hug.
Go, Kevin, go! Go!
So going to the Family Hope Center at least offered hope. Good job. And it's great that they have that in their name, but it really was hope for our family.